He's been here, but he didn't have anything to say. Like, he had no dialogue at all, which suggests that ArenaNet wanted him there to be a part of a quest, but then they forgot, and then it didn't happen. Then, about a year after that, or maybe a little bit less, and maybe a little bit more, they did add dialogue to him. So this is Admiral Saden the Eternal, Admiral. So maybe one of the owners of one of these ships or something. He says the realm of war is a place of eternal conflict. Is there something you'd like to discuss? That's it. He doesn't say anything else. So he's just a mysterious guy, forever taunting us at the fact that he probably at one point... Oh, wow, even more driftwoods. They are pissed off with us. That maybe at one point there was going to be a quest here, but there's not anymore. I wonder what he was going to tell us. Why is he here? I mean, I guess the story is he's from one of these ships, but we'll never know. So this is why nobody really cares about this place too much, except for farmers. And that's pretty much our tour of it, I guess. There's nothing really else to say. So what I'm going to do now, probably, is cut it, because we've completed a fair few quests now. We've only completed the Temple of War, but we've got the Shard Wolf here, so 5 wolves left. Yeah, I'm going to cut it till we get back to the furnace. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, and we're back. I had a little bit of a break there, I must admit. My poor throat. I've drank so much water. I've only been going for about 50 minutes, but damn. Okay, the Eternal Forge Master. Now we can craft our actual armor. Oh, where's my cursor gone? There it is. My mouse has been so weird recently. Anyway, right, so I shall bear witness to your deeds to Balthazar. The fires burn pure once more. Perhaps now I can resume my work. That also reminds me, actually, it's kind of a shame, isn't it, that we get to go to the realms of these gods, but we don't actually see them. Obviously, when we went to the realm of Torment, we got to see Abaddon, not in his original form, but still. You'd never get to see Grenth or Balthazar, though, in case you guys were wondering about that. It just doesn't happen. Yeah, though I do kind of like that, because it keeps them mysterious, you know. As soon as you've actually seen it, it seems a whole lot less fascinating. Anyway, accept the reward. So now we can actually ask him to craft stuff. And yeah, as you can see, so it's something like it changes for professions depending on if they've got a headpiece that can be crafted or not, because some of them don't. But generally, it's about 100 or 120 ectoplasm and obsidian shards each, which is weird because you might look at that and think, damn, okay, so it's an equal number for each. Why was it that people started farming ectoplasm so much? Why is it that globs of ectoplasm became the second currency after people reached the 1,000 platinum limit? Why ectos and not obsidian shards? And I generally do just think it's because of the drop rate of globs of ectoplasm, which is such a small thing, but it's changed this game in so many ways. It's unbelievable to think about, but it's just directed so many of the game updates and the way people trade. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? You can only think if the rates were slightly different when the game first came out, maybe it would have been different. I mean, the advantage, of course, is the Fissure of Woe. This is where you actually get to craft the armor. So your first instinct might think, well, people are going to be more interested in the Fissure of Woe than the Underworld, because all you can do at the Underworld, really, as far as this is concerned, is get the ectoplasm. That's the only draw of it. While here, you can get both shards and the armor, but no, that's not what happened. So yeah, this is the really elite armor. I am sorry that I'm not going to be getting it on camera. But you're really not missing out on that much, to be honest. I might eventually put it on like Tom because he's in desperate need of new armor. I don't know, but we'll have to see. So there we go. That's obsidian armor. That's the main reason, the main driving force for all people to do elite content before, you know, Ergo's Warren and the Deep and stuff came out. So yeah. All right. So here's the next quest: Kobe the Betrayer. I will go... Oh, should I go back to the Tower of Courage or not? I don't know. No, we'll stick around here. Okay, so how did Menzies actually do this? It was through treachery, not force of arms, that Menzies waylaid the true protectors of the temple and imprisoned me. Imagining some greater glory that he might attain, the scheming Lord Kobe, head of the temple guard, betrayed us and delivered the temple into the hands of the Shadow Army. I like this as well. This is just such a small little thing to think about, but the fact that he couldn't really kill the Forge Master, he had to imprison him. I wonder why this centaur is the only... It strikes me that this centaur is the only one worthy of creating armor for the gods. Why? Why? It's so cool, isn't it? I mean, you never really learn that much about the centaurs, but then you kind of hear about this and how this centaur is so integral to the gods and stuff. It's brilliant. Anyway, so this is what happened. Seeing your approach, the coward fled, no doubt seeking to hide in the lake of fire. Go now and deliver justice to the Lord Kobe and all of the traitorous temple guards. Okay, so really we just get vengeance, which, you know, you can't expect any less. We're in Balthazar's realm. It's all about fighting. So yeah, we just kind of go back. I like the volcano. Obviously this place is called the Fissure of Woe. It's very fiery. I love the name of this place, by the way. It is pretty cool. It's got a certain ring to it, doesn't it? There's not many places in Guild Wars that sort of sound so inspired and cool at the same time, if you ask me. But yeah, there is another quest here, as I said. One of these Eternals, not up in the middle, will actually give us another quest. We'll look at that, or should I do it together? I can't actually remember what the other one is. I don't know. Anyway, the one we're coming up to now is probably, as far as my tests went, the hardest one to do, just because there's the sheer amount of things that you have to fight to complete this quest. Oh no, I remember what the other one is. Oh, I'm thinking of a different quest, actually. Oh no, this one's pretty easy. Okay, so basically this whole path, you'll see me walk up here a couple of times, mainly because there's some annoying backtracking mechanics that are in this game, and I'm not quite sure why they're there. I guess it's to encourage people to go in with teammates. You can't actually bring henchmen here, so I guess the whole area was originally designed that there would be 8 players here all the time. Not to say you can't do it with heroes. I mean, this is exactly what you're seeing me do. Underworld is very hard with heroes, I'll say that straight away. In fact, hard mode Underworld with heroes was thought impossible for a long time. I'm actually using a build that can complete it. I'm not going to be doing it in hard mode, but I am using that build. A really intelligent guy. He's got a YouTube channel called EFG Jack. Basically, I'm just going to do what he taught me, basically, in all of those videos. Very cool. So if you're looking for that, then maybe look into that. But I will say one thing. The amount of effort and micromanagement that goes into being able to complete the Underworld with heroes is probably by far outweighs the amount of effort it would take to find some people to play through the Underworld with by just sort of sitting around saying, look, looking for party, or indeed finding some old guild mate. Trust me, it's a hell of a lot of micromanagement, if you're hoping to do it in hard mode, that is. I think he does it without consets as well, which is just very good. I will be using consets and in normal mode, so hopefully that will help out. But yeah, Underworld's one of those hard things. I keep talking about Underworld when really I shouldn't, but yeah, there you go. So these Shadow Monks can actually resurrect people, so generally they're a good target to go for first. As you've noticed, I haven't really been looking at that very much. Straight up there, over that hill, that's that hard quest I was talking about. Don't get me wrong, it's not really hard, it's just, as far as the Fissure of Woe goes, it's one of the harder ones. We're going to be coming down here, though. And I actually remember years ago when I was first playing this, I was here with a pickup group, and we really struggled here. I mean, you get some cool worms and stuff that I'll show you in a minute. And yeah, we struggled so badly here, but in my tests it's just been so simple. This has really felt no different to going around vanquishing something in hard mode, or even just completing regular missions. But yeah, so it's pretty cool here. It gets a bit more ambient, all kind of orange glow everywhere. You get these obsidian furnace drakes. You only find them here. Drakes that live in the mists. Also, wind riders here. These are called smoke walkers, sorry. Remember what I was saying in Eye of the North about when I did that little bit of story about the wind riders? Pretty cool, isn't it? Because they're supposed to have come from the mist, and I think this is the only place in the mist you actually find them. You don't find them in the realm of torment, and I don't think you find them in the underworld either. But here they are here. And they've got an affinity for magical things, and you do find them. These drakes, for a long time you could only find them here. There's a really fun quest. Nightfall's a bit weird for me because I went most of the way through that Let's Play of Nightfall talking about these cool things that I kind of wanted to go back and do bonus episodes of. But we ended up, that Let's Play just got so long, and in the end I specifically asked, do you guys want to see like the stuff in the mines and that, and just nobody replied, so I didn't do it in the end. But there is a cool quest called Drakes on a Plane, where you can see these drakes that have somehow found their way onto Tyria, which is quite hilarious. Anyway, yeah, you get these worms as well. These infernal worms, kind of like the drakes. For a long time they were only seen here, but in Eye of the North there's actually a dungeon that you go in that's very cool, very difficult, but just really awesome, and you get lots of these worms. They're pretty cool, aren't they? I love looking in their mouths. That is just gruesome. It's pretty amazing though. I don't want to go up that way, I don't think. I don't think you have to fight those. In my test runs, I did go up there, but I'm pretty sure you don't have to, so we're going to go this way. Basically, you get these worms sieging you while you have to fight sort of powerful fire elementalists and stuff as you go through. But, like I said, it's not really that difficult. You see them all over the place. I'm not quite sure under normal circumstances. By normal circumstances, I mean a bit of a weaker team, maybe made up all of humans. I'm not quite sure which you're supposed to target first, the worms or, you know, the smoke walkers and the drakes. I'd say drakes, because if they use obsidian flame, which I'm guessing they do, ward against foes, I don't know, I haven't seen them use it. But they probably do a lot of damage, one way or another. So really you just kind of have to worm your way through this area. I'm not really sure of the best way to do it. Like I said, I don't really play here that much, but just keep sort of worming your way through. Eventually you'll find the betrayer and be able to kick his ass. I think he's up there, yeah. Oh yes, of course, I almost forgot. God, there's this whole thing to talk about. This quest, this idea that Menzies actually managed to corrupt one of these Eternals that we're fighting here. This is kind of one of the ways that Menzies fights the Eternals. He corrupts them and he changes the army sort of into his own favour, which is a really cool idea, right? But it gets even more interesting than that. If you remember when we were in the Realm of Torment, I did kind of kept going back to these things that we'd found in the guildwars.dat. Well, not we, you know, members of the community had found in the guildwars.dat. About all these various things, and there was one thing that I didn't mention because I thought it was a bit weird and I wasn't quite sure what it was talking about. Do you remember when that big soul bridge we were walking across? There was one point when sort of near there's like a temple that you walk through. I think I actually went back and put an annotation there because I never mentioned it in the live commentary. But basically there's a thing in the guildwars.dat talking about this structure in this temple in the Realm of Torment. So it's like a monument, and without the guildwars.dat you don't know what it's to, but the guildwars.dat says something along the lines of, this is a monument to every one of Balthazar's Eternals that Abaddon has managed to corrupt. So we hear about the corruption of Eternals here. Oh, they actually resurrect each other with res signets. That's cool. So we learn years ago at launch of the game that Menzies can corrupt Balthazar's Eternals, as we can see here. We're fighting them right now. But then we learn later on in Nightfall that Abaddon's been doing it as well. He's been corrupting the Eternals. He's been turning them against Balthazar and to fight on his own side, which is really cool to me. So you got the Forge Master at the Forge saying that really the Eternals aren't heroes because, you know, it's easy to destroy stuff. Destroying things doesn't really make you a hero, which is quite rich, I think. It's quite funny considering the whole way through this game all we've been doing is just mindlessly destroying things. Just the fact that so many players can play through this game and have no idea of the story reason why they're doing it, they're just running around fighting, is exactly shows that we're not really heroes either. We're just killing things mindlessly. I mean, there are some times in Guild Wars it's not really a game that questions morality much, but there are some times in Guild Wars where you feel a bit bad about what you're doing. Like for instance when I was talking about the fighting the Hylek in Eye of the North. If you actually think about the story, really it's a bit dickish going through that quest, frog stomp and killing them all, but we do it anyway. So but yeah, sorry, I've kind of talked myself completely off, so I'm really not sure what to think about the Eternals. They seem quite malleable, don't they? I don't know, maybe it's supposedly really powerful hard magic to corrupt them, but they seem like they don't really care. They just fight, and whichever god kind of influences them they'll fight for. In any case, they're nice to us in the Fissure of Woe, and they're at least intelligent because we can speak to some. I don't know whether the Eternal Forge Master is an Eternal. I mean, he seems to say that he's not. He seems to sort of separate himself from them by saying, you know, what he does about how it's easy just to destroy. So I don't know. Is he an Eternal? Can he be swayed? I'm not sure. I'm kind of rambling here. Anyway, now again more backtracking. We've completed the quest. I'm just going to go back and hand it in. So I'll see you guys in a second. Whew, that was another break for me. Got to say, drinking so much water, I'm starting to piss like a horse. But okay, so we're back. Yeah, here's the other quest from Eternal Lord Teres. Should we do that next, or should we do the battlefield quest? We'll do this one next, actually. So speak to the Forge Master. Balthazar's justice has been served. With the destruction of Lord Kobe and his followers, the betrayal of the temple has been avenged. So there you go, that's the end of that quest chain, if you will. The other cool thing I didn't mention was this guy that crafts the army. You can actually sell stuff to him as well, so if your inventory's getting a bit full up, feel free to do that. So yeah. What's that? Oh, that's my minion window. I thought the mini-map had gone blank for a second there. So we will... Oh, God, I don't know, because now we're kind of doing quests that are going to take us... How many have we done, actually? We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... As you can see, I've done these all out of order. These two quests here, these we would have done if we had continued at the Tower of Courage right at the start. This one is the last one in the middle, and then there's these two, which I can't quite remember at the moment. But we'll find them. I'm not worried. So let's speak to Eternal Lord Teres, or Teres, whatever. And he says, the time has come to deal a crushing blow to the forces of Menzies. The heart of their command lies sealed within the Tower of Strength. If you can destroy the shadow patrols guarding the path, I will send eternal sigil mages to force open the tower gates, thus opening the way for you to charge inside and strike down the Shadow Lord. Should you succeed, our victory this day shall be assured. Alright, this is the harder one. This is the one that I could conceivably have wiped on during my test episode. So we're going to be going the same path again, which I'll speed up now. But we're going to be going north instead of through to there. So I'll see you guys in a sec. One other thing I guess I could talk about, and this is quite vague and weird, but these shadow beasts, these parts of Menzies' army, not all shadow beasts are actually a part of his army, as it turns out. If you remember our episodes on the Deep, and in fact I read, up on the forums right now as I'm recording this, that I was reading this morning, somebody's come up with a really cool theory about Knaxai, and how Knaxai could be one of, an Elder Dragon champion. In any case, Knaxai, if you remember, he had a load of these shadow army with him. He had these nightmares with him, and that's got nothing to do with Menzies. So it kind of suggests that Menzies, just like the Eternals really, I guess, none of these things are really devoted to him. The Abyssals seem to be. The Abyssals, whenever you see Abyssals, they're always, oh, these are Menzies' army. Abyssals, by the way, whenever they critical hit, they knock you down, which when they're such high levels, it tends to be constantly, which is a pain in the arse. They also hit a lot for physical damage, but don't do much as far as skills are concerned. So that's all about them. I always used to get Abyssals confused with attacks. Or Atk, I think that's how you say it. God, I'm going to have to learn that before I do my Underworld episode. There's some unique monsters in the Underworld called Atk, I think it is. It's spelt, I think, like that. Attacks, if you can even see that on YouTube. But it's pronounced like Atk, I don't know. Wow, why isn't this guy dying? I always used to confuse the two. Anyway, alright, I'm going to hit these guys. These are all balled up, lovely. Sweet, another shot. So as you can see here, this quest, we've got the towers there, okay, but the quest's annoying because there's just so many things out on this field. It's just all shadow army. It's quite grindy, actually. It really definitely does get to that point. They stay all balled up like this, though, which means usually I can take them out pretty nicely, but still, it's annoying. So what I think I'm going to do, because this will just be poor watching anyway, is just cut this whole fight until the fields are empty. You're not going to miss anything cool, guys, trust me. I mean, you can see it all here. The environments are pretty bland, I must say. It seems to have suffered from the same fate, and so is the Underworld to an extent as well. The same fate that the Domain of Anguish did, that it was just kind of slapped on there right at the end of the game's development. I've talked at length before about... come on, Abyssals, come on. I've talked at length before about how prophecies, they seem to have bitten off far more than they can chew. Like, ridiculously more. Like, if you look at how big that world is and how few quests there are and so on. But yeah, so there's really not that much amazing stuff to talk about. I found with the... Oh, I almost died. Did I die? No, I didn't die. I kind of found with... Oh, look at this big ball. This is amazing. Look at this. Look at this. I found with the Deep and Ergo's Warren, there was so little to talk about on the lore front because there wasn't even any dialogue at all, that I had to like pick at really little things to talk about in the environments, like me and Gildor's buddy when we did that. At least I won't have to do that here because we've got the quests. Anyway, you might think, damn, I've just killed loads. I haven't really, so I'm going to cut it and I'll see you guys in a second. Oh, hold on. 2 seconds later, there's a Shard Wolf here, another Shard Wolf. So they are in all the major regions. I might as well show you where they all are. That's cool. Look at the lava coming out of his mouth there. Oh, I just said I wasn't going to pick at stuff in the environment, but okay. Yeah, Shard Wolves, by the way, since we just killed that, I may as well mention it because I forgot it earlier, that you can get that as a mini pet as well. It's quite a unique design. You don't see many of them. Do you remember in Eye of the North when I went into like that wolf cave and there was Lisa, the pack leader, I think was his name? They used the same model as that guy. I don't think that there's any lore significance that they're the same. I think they just thought it was a cool model for wolves. But yeah. Alright, okay, I'm definitely going to cut it now. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, there we go. I've literally cleared out the entire field. I don't think for a second that you have to kill everything on this field, but the next bit of this quest, you have to escort this rune sigil, no, sorry, this eternal sigil mage, and I since I don't play that much, I'm not 100% sure on exactly the best way to do it, so I just want to make sure nothing fights him. Basically, this is the annoying backtracking thing. We've killed everything. There's the tower. We could go in and kill the boss, but no, we have to go all the way back to get this guy and then walk all the way up, which is just weird. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said that I think it's because they've designed it for 8 players, like one person stays back to speed up the whole process. But no, because I'm with heroes, I have to sort of backtrack the whole way. So we're going to go from one cut straight to another. I'll cut it until he's there at the tower. See you guys in a sec. Okay, here we go. Finally, we're back. God, it just seems like such a waste of time. I could understand it if like they put more spawns in to complicate things a little bit, but they don't. They just don't. It's kind of weird. I don't know why they don't just sort of have him follow you from a distance, because if he's not going to move, or at least have him escort while you're fighting in the field, so that would make it difficult, a little bit more interesting. Not that I want it to be that much more difficult, but you know, it would make it a bit different. So you get to the tower, it takes him a while to register that he's here, and then the gate will open. And here's the Shadow Lord. This is what I was talking about at the start, by the way, of this huge fight to get inside, and then look, and then he just falls over. Couldn't he be like a nice big powerful boss? No, no. That's asking for too much. So there we go. Party completed 6 of 11 quests. Oh, it's 11, not 12. Sorry. You have to excuse me for that. So basically, you know, I talked about the guy that offers you the hunt quest, who's a little bit hidden. There's another one who's a little bit hidden just north of here. So before we go back to collect that reward, I'm going to complete this next quest here now in a new region, which is the Burning Forest. So we're going to come down here. I've already cleared most of these patrols out. There will be some more, so I'll probably speed this little walk up. This little path will take us out of the back of this region here. I don't even know what this region really is. Is it just like a big field? It's not even like the battlefields where, you know, there's loads of undead. It's just... See, that's interesting too. This is an afterlife, right? So everybody's spirits kind of like undead interior. They're described as spirits that stayed interior, and their corpses started to rot, and they became filled with hatred. Why are there undead here? It's confusing, isn't it? I don't... Because surely they should just be in like their spirit form now, and that should just be it. I don't know. Have you noticed how long these abyssals take to attack as well? It's a bit funny. So yeah, the undead there, not too sure about it. You'll see a lot of undead in Grent's realm, but that's a lot more sort of well explained. So anyway, you can see an NPC up here. I'm not actually quite sure what's down where that place was, but who knows. Alright, so this is Miko, sorry, the Unchanged. Miko, maybe from Cantha? Yeah, I doubt it. He looks like a Crichton. But this was... all these people were from launch, so sort of Cantha wasn't real back then. Anyway, we see there's more scales out there. I'm actually going to send my heroes off to fight while I'm pissing around with this guy. Hello, Miko.